What if some of your thoughts are not entirely your own? The sentence that appears in your mind from nowhere, the image that flashes behind your eyes, the dream that feels more real than waking life, the strange knowing that arrives fully formed, without effort, without logic, without explanation. What if these moments are not random? What if they are downloads? Across history, mystics, prophets, artists, shamans, poets, inventors, and visionaries have described the same phenomenon in different languages. A message from an angel, a whisper from the divine, a voice from the higher self, a visitation from the ancestors, a transmission from the stars, an idea placed into the mind by something beyond ordinary thought. Today, modern spiritual culture calls this a download. But what is a download really? Is it the subconscious mind connecting patterns in the background? Is it divine inspiration? Is it contact with higher dimensional intelligence? Or could some downloads be communications from non-human beings, aliens, star beings, interdimensional entities, celestial messengers, or something even stranger? Tonight, we enter the mystery of the alien download, not to force an answer, but to open the door. A download is usually described as a sudden arrival of knowledge, not a thought you build step by step, not a conclusion reached through analysis, but a complete package of information appearing all at once. It may come as a phrase, a symbol, a geometric image, a vision, a dream, a bodily sensation, or a deep inner knowing that bypasses ordinary thinking. People often say, "I don't know how I know this, I just know." That is what makes the download so strange. It does not feel invented. It does not feel like normal imagination. It feels received, as if consciousness has become a receiver and something has been transmitted into it. In ancient times, this was not called a download. It was called revelation, inspiration, prophecy, illumination, gnosis. The Greeks spoke of the muse. The Sufis spoke of inspiration entering the heart. Hermeticists spoke of knowledge descending from higher spheres. Gnostics spoke of awakening through direct knowing. Shamans spoke with spirits. Prophets heard voices. Poets received verses. And today, in a technological age, we use technological language. We call it a download. But perhaps this is an ancient mystery wearing a modern mask. In many mystical traditions, the human being is not seen as a closed system. You are not just a body. You are not just a brain. You are not merely a biological machine processing sensory data. You are a vessel, a mirror, a receiver, a meeting point between worlds. The physical world below, the subtle worlds above, the seen and the unseen, the material and the spiritual. From this view, the mind is not the source of all knowledge. The mind is an instrument, like a radio. And a radio does not create the music it plays, it receives it. Could consciousness work the same way? In Hermetic philosophy, reality is structured in planes: dense physical planes, subtle mental planes, higher spiritual planes. The mystic rises inwardly through these levels by silence, ritual, meditation, discipline, and contemplation. And when the mind becomes still enough, something may descend: a symbol, a phrase, a vision, a truth. Not learned, remembered. Not invented, received. The Gnostics had a radical view of this. They believed that within the human being is a divine spark, a fragment of light from beyond this world. This spark, they said, is trapped inside the material realm, surrounded by ignorance, illusion, and forgetfulness. The purpose of spiritual life was not simply to be good. It was to wake up, to remember where you came from, to receive gnosis, direct knowing, Not knowledge from books, not knowledge from institutions, not knowledge from external authority, but knowledge that arrives from beyond the false structures of the world. For the Gnostics, the material world was not the highest reality. It was a kind of cosmic enclosure, a realm ruled by forces that keep human beings asleep. They called these forces Archons, rulers, powers, controllers of perception. Some interpret them literally, some symbolically, some psychologically. But in every reading, the Archons represent forces that keep the soul from remembering its origin. Fear, distraction, desire, conformity, material obsession, false identity. And then, a crack appears. A dream arrives. A symbol reveals itself. A phrase cuts through the noise. A pattern becomes visible. And the person is never quite the same again. This is the download as awakening. A signal from beyond ordinary perception. A flash of light inside the prison of the mind. But there is another possibility. What if some downloads are not only spiritual, but extraterrestrial? Throughout modern UFO and contactee culture, people have described receiving information telepathically from non-human intelligences. Sometimes they call them aliens, sometimes interdimensional entities, sometimes luminous beings, sometimes greys, mantids, Nordics, reptilian forms, or beings of pure light. The descriptions vary, but the pattern is often similar. A person enters an altered state. During sleep, meditation, a near-death experience, a UFO sighting, a period of emotional crisis, or even a quiet, ordinary moment. Then information arrives, not spoken aloud, not written down, but placed directly into awareness. The person may receive ideas about consciousness, energy, the structure of reality, humanity's future, the illusion of time, the connectedness of all life, or their own personal mission. Again and again, people use the language of transmission. They showed me. It was given to me. It came in as a block of information. I understood it instantly, but it took years to explain. This is the alien download, a direct mind-to-mind transfer of knowledge, a communication that bypasses speech. Whether one sees this as literal alien contact, symbolic vision, psychological projection, or spiritual encounter, the pattern itself is ancient. Human beings have always reported contact with intelligences beyond themselves. Only the names have changed. Angels, jinn, devas, gods, spirits, ancestors, star beings, aliens. The mask changes, the encounter remains. One of the most fascinating questions is this: were ancient encounters with angels and celestial beings actually encounters with non-human intelligence? Or are modern alien encounters technological reinterpretations of old spiritual experiences? In ancient texts, luminous beings descend from the heavens. They bring messages. They reveal forbidden knowledge. They appear in dreams. They overwhelm the witness with awe. They often begin with the same command: do not be afraid. In modern contact experiences, beings also descend from the sky. They communicate telepathically. They reveal hidden truths. They operate outside normal time and space. They leave the witness transformed. Is this coincidence? Or is humanity describing the same type of encounter through different cultural lenses? A religious person may call the being an angel. A shaman may call it a spirit. A modern experiencer may call it an alien. A psychologist may call it an archetype. A Gnostic may call it a messenger from beyond the archonic realm. This same event can be dressed in many languages, but the core experience remains. Knowledge arrives from beyond the ordinary self. Of course, there is also a grounded explanation. The human brain is constantly processing information beneath conscious awareness. It collects patterns, faces, symbols, memories, dream fragments, emotional signals, unfinished thoughts. Then suddenly, the hidden mind presents the result as a complete insight. A solution appears. A melody appears. A sentence arrives. A business idea lands fully formed. From this view, the download is not coming from spirits or aliens. It is coming from the subconscious. But even this opens a deeper question. What is the subconscious? Is it only neurological? Or is it a doorway into something larger? Carl Jung believed beneath the personal unconscious lies the collective unconscious, a shared symbolic field of humanity, a realm of archetypes, the serpent, the wise old man, the divine child, the shadow, the mother, the messenger. So perhaps a download is not extraterrestrial in the outer space sense. Perhaps it is contact with a deeper layer of mind, not from another planet, but from another dimension of consciousness. And yet, even that does not fully close the mystery, because not every sudden thought is a download. Not every impulse is wisdom. Not every strange idea is cosmic truth. The mind can be brilliant, but it can also deceive itself. So how do we recognize a meaningful download? First, it often arrives with clarity, not panic, not chaos, not frantic excitement, but a quiet, powerful knowing. Second, it has coherence. Even if you cannot explain it immediately, the insight has structure. It unfolds over time. Third, it changes behavior. A real download is not just entertaining. It alters your direction, your work, your relationships, your practice, your understanding of yourself. Fourth, it humbles more than it inflates. This is important. A false download may make the ego feel chosen, superior, or grandiose. A deeper download often produces awe, responsibility, and humility. Not, I am special, but I have been shown something, and now I must live differently. Fifth, it can be tested over time. True insight becomes more meaningful with patience. False excitement usually fades. This is why serious mystical traditions warn against blindly trusting visions. The Sufis speak of discernment. Christian mystics warned against deception. Hermeticists emphasize discipline. Buddhists warned against attachment to unusual experiences. Magical traditions recorded visions, tested them, compared them, and integrated them. A download is not valuable because it is strange. It is valuable if it reveals truth. Downloads often arrive when the ordinary mind becomes quiet or disrupted. Through meditation, prayer, fasting, dreams, breathwork, ritual, music, isolation, grief, shock, ecstasy, near-death experience, or deep creative flow. In these states, the normal filters of the mind loosen. The rational mind stops controlling the entire field of awareness, and something else can come through. Maybe the signal is divine, maybe subconscious, maybe archetypal, maybe alien. Maybe these are not separate categories at all. Maybe reality is layered, and what we call a download is the moment information crosses from one layer into another, from unseen to seen, from subtle to physical, from higher mind to ordinary mind, from cosmic intelligence to human language. The real question may not be whether downloads are real. The real question is, what does the download do to the soul? Does it awaken? Does it clarify? Does it liberate? Does it humble? Or does it inflate the ego and pull the seeker into fantasy? The ancient mystics would tell us, do not chase visions. Do not worship strange experiences. Do not believe every voice. Become still. Become clear. Become worthy of truth. And when the signal comes, listen. but listen with discernment. Because somewhere between the stars and the subconscious, between the angel and the alien, between the divine spark and the hidden mind, there may be a pathway, a mystic pathway. And perhaps every true download is an invitation to walk it. Have you ever experienced a download? A sudden knowing? A dream that changed you? A message that felt like it came from beyond your own mind? Share it in the comments. And subscribe to Mystic Pathways, because the visible world is only the surface, and the deeper mysteries are waiting beneath.